So our strategic planning was an annual exercise, and the whole goal was to deliver a strategic plan to the board for approval, and followed by a communication and update to the staff of the outcomes of that strategy. It was largely based on a number of projects to deliver the intended outcomes, but these projects were really long and we invested a lot of time and resource into them in the hope that they would achieve our strategic objectives that we had agreed with the board. We realised we had to start working differently to meet the needs and expectations of our consumers, and we needed a lot of help to do that because we really had to transform the way we were working. So when we engaged with Double O, it was because we realised we just could not do this alone. We had to change, I guess, the habits of a lifetime in terms of our involvement at MTF, and it's pretty hard to cast that lens on yourself. You need an external observer to sort of point out, what works and what doesn't. And Double O have been really great partners in that. They've worked with us in a really collaborative way to not in a prescriptive, here's the agile methodology, but to help us develop our own way of working. They've provided us with the frameworks and then the guidance and support to get us there. They sell us on a vision for how it could look and then give us all the support and guidance we need to get there, but in a way that reflects our own values and culture and the people we have here. So it is our way of working, and it'll be different to someone else. So we just undertook our first Big Room planning, which is intended to be quarterly, to have an opportunity to review and adapt our strategy and communicate that to the business so they have the opportunity to reframe their own goals and objectives based on that strategy at that time. And it also gives us the opportunity to recognise what we've achieved in the last quarter, which is fantastic. So it's really good that we can see what we've achieved, and then before we have the conversation about what we're going to do next for the next quarter. And we're seeing a lot of buy-in from our staff in that process. It's a lot more collaborative, a lot more engaging, and I think we're seeing some really positive outcomes already from doing it that way. In the past, we sort of communicated the strategy and then sort of reflected, why don't people engage with this? Why do they not understand what the right things to work on are? And what we're seeing is if you put in all the groundwork and the planning and processes and you do it in a really collaborative way, the things that were the biggest challenge actually just are the outcomes of doing all that groundwork, and that's been really positive. So instead of trying to sort of bang your head against the wall, why aren't people engaged with this? It's actually going to involve them really early on, and set those goals together, articulate what the strategy means for them and their roles and as a team, and then the buy-in comes and the motivation comes, and that's been really, really positive and really encouraging to see.